I don't know how I'm going to do this. I've done this several times. The last one was 7 minutes long, and I rambled, and I'm rambling again already. Because it's talking about the dark stuff, the dark side of all of this. I mentioned in the last video about the dark side, and maybe I'm partly dark. I'm actually, no, I pretty much am. Lean that away, I think. Maybe it's the guy thing. I don't know. But as far as the dark side, well, just how dark can it get? It can get really dark. Really, really, really dark. To where, you know, you want people to die and then they just drop dead. That kind of dark. And it's happened several times. Once, the FBI came after my dad a long time ago. And Dad won against the U.S. government. Believe it or not. It was kind of odd. It happened. Mom was making little voodoo dolls of the FBI guy and stabbing it. And then gives the person ideas, you know. And it wasn't long after the trial that that FBI guy that went after my dad died. He was a relatively young guy too, but he didn't make it. Didn't survive long after that. And, you know, you just talk to existence and things happen. So I'm making this short. I'm not trying not to ramble. It's a very dark subject and hard to talk about. I've made this video so many times over weeks and months. And I told myself, when I put these out here, I'm going to put it all out here because intuition is telling me it's time, and it's time for everyone to know that this stuff happens. Even though my goal is, my ultimate guiding principle is be kind to others, sometimes things happen, and sometimes things need to happen. That was number one. Here's a second, more recent one with the Pink House. Oh, what's it, 10 years ago now? The Pink House was falling into disrepair. Boards were rotting. My first cousin had been there, and I don't know why he wanted it. He had been into drugs, and I think he was getting back into drugs again. I mean, it was horrible. Feces on the handles of the toilet. I lived in the bathtub running for so long, it was rusting out the toilet. I mean, the bathtub. Boards were rotted. Cabinets were rotted. And so me and my brother went in, and we started fixing it back up, repairing rotted boards, ripped out the entire bathroom, replaced everything, all the fixtures, the floor, the joist of the house itself. I saw them and beam, but replaced the joist of the house, had to. And so we did a lot of work. The whole family spent a lot of money, more money than the house is actually worth, to get it back up to where it is. Anyway, that cousin was not happy at all. I guess he wanted it for himself, for something personally. This is just my personal opinion. I think he was back into the drugs and wanted it as a drug den for him and his friends to do drugs at. It's honestly what I personally think. And that's just my opinion. But that's what I'm thinking. Because when I was there fixing it up, he would circle the house and just circle it. And I guess trying to terrorize me. But I'm like, eh, whatever, you know, no piggy. Just whatever you want to do. But through the backyard, through the side yard, circling the house, you know, and all this. So I put up security cameras and all this, caught him stealing stuff. He was stealing from my uncle nearby. He was stealing things, different things for the neighbors, doing really bad things. And he was telling people in the town that he wanted me dead. And everyone that he wanted me dead. And his friends, if you can get the kind of friends he might have, are the type that would do it. And so the neighbors and my uncle would not allow me to come down there without having a gun. They were offering to give me their guns, loan me their guns while I was down there staying, fixing up the house to protect myself from my first cousin. His name was Brad, and my cousins and my family know him because they're all related. So it was Brad, people. And that's why it was very bad. I didn't do anything. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know why he hated me so much. And some of the things he said, even my Uncle Walter was saying, this is pure evil, what he is saying. And it was. And I don't know why, what happened. I really clueless. Anyway, it got to the point where it was getting a little more and more dangerous, even for my wife. So it's like I talked to existence. Like I said, I talked to everything. I talked to existence, reality itself. And I said, look, if he is going to continue down this path toward harming people, not just me, maybe my wife, but harming others, then he needs to be removed from this path. He needs to be taken out. And I'm sorry, but he needs to be gone from this earth, kind of thing. Similar to the FBI agent. He needs to be removed. And that week, he walked out of his front door and dropped dead. Took care of that. You want to think, well, that's just a couple of instances. There's been some others. I'm hoping I'm doing this for that reason. I want to think that this is all a coincidence. It's just like everything else. It's a coincidence, right? This is crazy talk. None of this is possible, but it happens. So my life is ultimately strange, and I've talked so far all about positive things, trying to keep things positive, but there is a dark side also. And I just didn't know how to put it out there. But it's time to put all this out there, and I'm not going to keep anything, well, actually I'm lying. I'm saying I'm not going to keep anything back. I am keeping something back, something really big, not dark. It's very positive, I think, but it's something that this is too much to believe, but what that other part is way too insane, too big for anybody to comprehend, pretty much. So I'm not going to talk about it. You just can't deal with it. I don't know that you could hear me if I talked about it. Anyway, those two instances. The third is the guy's still alive, as far as I know. Is that crazy guy that was terrorizing my first cousin, who lives down near the Pink House. He was there and under the guise of repairing her floor. Never did anything, sat in the chair, drank alcohol. It was someone she knew from her past, and she was terrified, literally terrified. And she needed him gone, and I made him gone. Just, crazy's easy. Normal is hard. So I just let the crazy out on him. And he left really quick. Said he's never seen anybody as crazy as me before. Just, he's getting out of there, never coming back, which is a good thing, and that was the goal. Because she said she was ready to shoot him. She was terrified. And she goes, if he comes back, she's going to shoot him. She is literally terrified for her life from this guy. He was taking her son's car and doing all kind of things and doing all kind of weird things. So I talked again, just like he did with the others, to the universe. If he comes back, he needs to be removed. So far, he hasn't come back. If he's tried to come back, he probably didn't make it. Anyway, that's the dark side. I'm sorry this took so long. This is sounding so flippant for all the stupid things. It's sounding so flippant, and it's not. It's really not. It's bad. It's just the way it is. So there's a real dark side to this. And honestly, that's not even some of the darkest you would think. That this is about as dark as it gets. It's not. Trust me, it's not. I don't know. I don't know how. Shoot. This has been so flippant sounding, and it's not flippant. It's real. It's just. Here I go mumbling again. Okay, but that's more of the dark side, and things happen.